Hello and welcome to Genre Bite. In this series of videos I'll be having a look at some of the different genres in anime. In this episode I'll be having a look at the Shonen genre. Now although technically Shonen isn't a genre and more a demographic, over the years it's almost become a genre in which certain type of anime fit into. Shonen anime tend to be marketed towards younger teenage boys, normally including a lot of action, humour and likeable characters. Shonen shows are very popular with not only younger teenagers but older people too. Chances are if you've watched kids TV before, then you've probably watched at least one or two shonen anime. Popular shows like Dragonball and Pokemon have been airing on English television since 1995, and have been watched by most people even if they didn't realise they were watching anime. A magazine called Shonen Sekai was one of the first real examples of shonen. Shonen Sekai was first published in 1895. Although it might not have been that similar to the shonen made today, it gives you a really good feel of how popular shonen material is. The Dragonball franchise is said to be one of the most influential shonen of our time, and it's really a perfect example of our normal shonen anime. Since shonen are aimed at younger people, they are very limited to what they can show, and what stories they can tell. Shonen normally revolve around one main protagonist. He won't have any natural talent and will probably be quite clumsy, but he will have something: willpower and friendship. It sounds like a cliche, but most shonen have to revolve around these principles, as they're aimed at a younger audience. Younger people tend to idolise these main protagonists. So if the main protagonist were to win by cheating and breaking the rules, it wouldn't set a good example for the younger viewers. So what normally happens in the typical shonen show? Normally a bad guy will show up with an evil plan. The bad guy will be stronger, smarter and more prepared than our main protagonist, but he lacks the vital shonen ingredients: willpower and friendship. Towards the end of this particular arc, the protagonist will build up to fighting the bad guy and then defeat him using willpower and friendship alone. We'll then start all over again with a new bad guy and a new challenge for the protagonist to conquer. This will then be repeated endlessly until the publishers stop paying the mangaka or studio. Like I said, there isn't much leeway for them to really change the outcome of the arcs, so the stories end up being very similar and repetitive. This is the main problem I have with shonen. Once I had watched a few shonen series, I started to get bored of the same exact plot reskinned with a few little changes. Shonen shows tend not to give the variety and new content I look for in anime. Because of these constraints, I tend not to watch many shonen shows, as I don't find them that entertaining anymore. The characters tend to be very shallow, not well developed, and sometimes really annoying. Like I said, I don't watch many shonen shows, but I have come across a few that are exceptions to the typical boring shonen. First up, I'm going to recommend Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It has all the characteristics of a classic shonen show, but it's done in a much more mature way. You get all your classic power-ups and special moves, but it actually has a deep and interesting story. Not to mention it's only 64 episodes. So you don't have to throw away months of your life watching an endless amount of repetitive episodes. Next would be Hunter x Hunter. Now this is probably as close as you're going to get to the typical shonen without it getting too boring. The story certainly isn't amazing, but the characters and action make it very entertaining without getting too childish. Hunter x Hunter has just over 100 episodes, but it's still airing, so by the time you're watching this it might be more. My final recommendation is Death Note. Now this is nothing like your typical shonen show. The characters have a lot of depth, and the plot is very well written for the most part. I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a mature shonen show. Although I'll continue to not watch most shonen due to them being very boring and dragged out, I can see why people enjoy them, and I can definitely appreciate the influence shows like Dragon Ball have had on anime. I'm sure if it wasn't for shows like Dragon Ball and Pokemon, a lot of us wouldn't have gotten into anime in the first place. So that's been my look into shonen anime. Of course, this is a brand new series, so if you have any suggestions or feedback, please do leave them in the comments section. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, clicking the like button would be very appreciated, and of course don't forget to subscribe for more anime related videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.